The views, takes, and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes, and opinions of the Main Event Mark, PWPH Wrestling Network, and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle, everyone. Welcome to the Main Event Mark.
Yon. Welcome to the Main Event Mark Podcast. Thank you for listening on this special episodes. Dalawang episode nga pala ito. I decided to do 2 episodes this week because I am splitting up the WWE programming on this special episode kasi I really want to point out things on the AEW programming medyo hindi ko na nagugustuhan lately. And yeah, konting storytelling muna tayo. So, today, para sa kaalaman nyo, today is the second time that Flip Top, mga battle rap fans dyan, and also PSP, Pangil sa Pangil, will go head to head on their shows. Ang pakulo ni PSP, they have a pay-per-view that apparently based on our friends, tangin na yung pay-per-view nila. Buti hindi ko tinuloy yung panonood ng pay-per-view nila kasi sobrang hassle, you know? Sobrang hassle kasi nung pay-per-view, 100 pesos tas magbabayad ka sa 5 QR codes or 6 na QR codes. Nahaselan ako. Parang ang dating sa akin, para tayo nagbabayad sa online sugal, sa Pogo, or sa mga ka-related nito, like yung mga ini-endorse na mga influencers, yun ang dating sa akin. Tas yung website, parang online sugal din. So parang ang dating sa akin, ang pangit. Tapos ginawa pang pay-per-view ni Pibus. I mean, Flip Top did that before, oo. Kaso ang sabi ko nga, ang pay-per-view format kasi sa mga gantong eksena, kahit in wrestling, ang dali niya ang dali niyang makopya or ang dali niyang manakaw. So that's piracy. And we don't tolerate piracy, no? As much as we do. Pero putek, hindi ko kayang panoorin yung PSP na pay-per-view nila kasi ayokong ma-compromise yung data ko. Data ko yung na-compromise na dun eh. Parang nag-set sila dun ng frame or kung ano bang katarantaduhan. Buti hindi ko tinuloy yung pag-register dun sa website na PSP. Parang kinuha din, kukunin din kasi nila yung data natin or yung mga accounts natin. Yun yung pag-compromise. Wala kasing terms and conditions. Wala rin VOD of sorts ng ganun. Parang live lang siya as in. So, if you wanted to watch it ng YouTube, parang mas kita natin kung anong katarantaduhan yung mangyayari. Pero kagaya nga ng sabi ko, I don't like the idea of pay-per-views na ganito sa battle rap. I mean, it's a innovative thing, sure. Pero it's not a good thing after all. Parang kasing ang dating sa akin, the more it stinks, the more it sours. Eto na nga, kaya nga pinasok ko yung topic ng PSP versus Flip Top. I really want to discuss this as shorter lang. Gusto ko siyang i-discuss na mas mahaba in a different forum or different episode. Sa ngayon, ang gusto ko lang sabihin, si Flip Top, despite its downfall, parang din man downfall, no? Despite its decline sa battle rap sa masa, grabe pa din eh. Aminin na natin, PSP has the best lineup right now. Ang problema mo with PSP, they have the repetitive matches. It's like Vince McMahon booking 2016 or 2017 WWE. And doon siya nababoy ng tuluyan. It's not a good thing. I mean, matira mayaman is in progress. Pero yung paulit-ulit lang yung mga nakikita natin. Para kasing may roster silang sarili. So medyo ang pangit nung mindset or ang pangit din ng pagro-roster ng PSP. Flip top, I mean, ang dami nila, oo. Pero ang gusto ko kasi sa flip top, it's more on parang it's an opportunity. Kailangan mo patunayan yung sarili mo. If you deserve the spot, you have to prove it on that moment. So if you don't think you deserve that spot, then you don't deserve to be on the lineup. Yan yung gusto ko sa flip top na recent events. They have some proving grounds ba? And now they have the things recently and actually I really love, no? With process of illumination, nagkaroon na din ng 1 minutes. Tapos, naging annual na rin yung 1 minutes, no? So, that's a good thing. And then, yun nga, nagsabay sila ng events, isa sa Davao, isa sa Manila, sa Pasig. It's actually a good thing to see. It's like WWE and AEW na, yes, they have the competition, but when you see UC, ang comparison ko lang naman dito, yes, PSP has the best production. Flip Top is trying to adapt on that. Yes, Flip Top is having the bigger venues. Si PSP nag-downgrade data from their recent venue na Coliseum. Yung SMX Davao, ang liit nun eh. Ang liit nung parang Function Hall 1. Ang liit eh. Parang ang liit niya for that type of crowd. Tas parang hindi sila komportable yung iba. Wala nagyoyosi. Nakapanibago sa hip-hop yung ganun. Pero yeah, it's part of their changes ba. And they're trying to change the mantra ba of this type of events. And okay. So pay-per-views is really interesting. Although it's a bad thing because wala naman kasing terms, wala rin kasing pwede siyang mapunta sa data privacy eh. Tsaka yun in-explain ko kanina. Yung mga terms, medyo duda ako with PSP. So medyo may trust issue ako when it comes to their website. Tsaka para na din siya kasang ano eh, sugal o kaya yung nakikita yung mga website. Pero para lang siyang pay-per-view. It's not a good thing to begin with. Pero yun, let's talk about PSP and Flip Top in a later date. Pag may mga medyo magustuhan akong battle sa mga events nila on that day. Pero for now, let's talk about wrestling. So welcome again to your Unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. This is the Main Event Mark Podcast. And thank you for always joining here on this podcast. And this podcast is part of the PWPH Wrestling Network. As you may know, we are growing here. In case you missed the news a few days ago, si Adore Ali Valenzuela is now part of our roster dito sa PWPH Wrestling Network. Kasali siya, pero hindi siya admin ng PWPH. It's more on parang talent lang. Siya yung first talent natin. Si Julian might be the second, pero si Julian kasi tangina hindi ko nakikita eh. Pero yon, October 2024, magkakaroon tayo ng bagong season ng PWPH podcast. And like what I mentioned on our season finale, dami kayong aabangan doon. So magkakaroon tayo ng 5 episodes na bonus aside from the typical 10. Magkakaroon tayo ng reviews, ng roster review dito sa PWPH podcast. Pero ang pagpokusan natin ng pansin is ito yung mga importante bagay. So first thing, DexCon, Dekada is now available on video on demand. If you want to watch the video on demand of Dexcon Dekada, it's now available for only 179 pesos. Isang ano na yun, isang video na yun, papanood nyo yung buong Dexcon Dekada. I really want to watch that show. And yeah, see ya on October 12 and 13 for their upcoming show, which is the Dexcon, yung kay Dr. Gore. Pwede ko na i-reveal kasi ano na, yung Graveyard Shift Mandela and also yung Jam of the Joshis. So we are going to talk about that podcast episode, or we're going to talk about those shows and also yung ano pa ba? Yung review ng Heart to Heart, yung Heart to Heart sa puso on our next episode of the PWPH podcast. So that will be our official season 2 premiere here on the podcast. So, yun lang muna. Ayaw muna mag-plug. Baka may ma-spoil ako ng mga bagay-bagay. For now, Blast TV is the official broadcaster of the WWE and also UFC here in the Philippines. So if you want to watch your favorite WWE superstars, they're on their weekly shows, also yung UFC pay-per-views, of course, nasa pay-per-view yan, and yung mga fight nights. Of course, Filipino Pro Wrestling, acknowledge na rin natin. The shows are available on Blast TV, on demand, tsaka sa Top Sports, sa Premier Sports naman pag UFC. So you can watch your favorite shows, movies, at saka yung mga series pa na pwede nyo mapanood sa Blast TV. The Boys NBC is also now available on Blast TV. So yes, you heard that right. The Boys is also now available on Blast TV. So pwede nyo siya mapanood every Wednesdays and Thursdays at 12 noon. So that's interesting, and also like what we mentioned, Plus TV is free for our internet providers, sub-providers ng Plus TV. So that's Converge, Surf2Sawa, Bida Fiber, Globe at Home, KSAT, RJJ, Parasat, Kabayan, Eagle Vision, Nai Cable TV, Sweepnet at Cebu Cable. Marami pang cable affiliate si Blast TV. And also, you can pay as well for 179 per month, 1,994 with Setanta Sports. Mayroon ng NBA soon. Meron na ring Premier League sa mga nanonood dyan ng football. So, ma-appreciate nyo din yung deal ni Plus TV for those deals. So, for now, let's go now to our headlines here on the show. Unang-una, meron na tayong social media platform sa PWPH. So, please support our Pro Wrestling Philippines Club on all of our social media platforms. Sa Facebook, facebook.com/groups/Pro Wrestling Philippines Club. On X and on Patreon at PWPH Select. Instagram, instagram.com/the Wrestling Philippines or PH Club. So that's PW putangin na. So that's P Wrestling PH Club. Ang weird pero yeah, it is what it is. Okay. So let's continue here. Let's talk about wrestling. Ito po ang ating headlines this week on our wrestling. Let's start with Cody. Si Cody and Roman, alam naman natin, nagharap sila sa isang stadium sa Atlanta. Then, ni Roman Reigns. So, medyo nabuwisit dun si KO. KO teased a turn, pero he did not pull the trigger. Also, we have the headline from AEW, Deonna Purrazzo. Na-report siya before, I think it was PW Insider, na magkakaroon ng stable si Deonna Purrazzo. I'll say this before, I'll say this again. Deonna Purrazzo doesn't need stable or doesn't need a stable. Hindi niya kailangan ng stable kasi she is charismatic on her own. Hindi ba makuha ni Tony Khan yun? I don't get it. Tony Khan is really love stables. And I'm kind of frustrated on how Diona is getting booked in AEW. I mean, Taya, Valkyrie, okay, they have a history in TNA, pero I don't get it. I don't get the idea why we have this stable, and I don't get either why we are getting that. So also, si Saraya and Jamie Hayter is set to fight in a Saraya's rules match. Di natin alam kung ano ba talaga yung putang inang. Then, yung cinema pag-usapan natin on the next portion. Okay. So we have a dumpster match between Chelsea Green versus Minchen that was made official earlier today. Also Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. Obviously, we're getting a best of 7. I think this deserves a best of 7. Then mag-team up sila, no? That would be hilarious, actually. Pero yan. Then, yung number 1 contendership for the women's title, it never finished with a clear win. So, Naomi and Bailey will fight for the contendership next Friday on SmackDown. Then we have Giovanni Vinci. He lost yet again on Apollo Crews. I'm glad Apollo Crews that he's getting the momentum, no? Bumabawi siya sa momentum. Pero tangina kagaguhan to. But yeah, then LA Knight defeated Andrade earlier on SmackDown, like what I said. Then ano pa ba? Balita pa natin. So si Sila Fatu, it was announced that hindi na mag-a-appear si Sila Fatu sa mga GCW shows for the foreseeable future. Hindi natin alam kung bakit, hindi rin naman dinisclose, hindi rin naman nag-appear si Sila sa show. Pero I hope he might join the Bloodline anytime. Pero I don't think he is joining the Bloodline. Yan, so yun lang. Then, let's talk about a few things. So, si Miro, he asked for his release sa AEW. Malaki pa yung contract niya until 2026, but it seems like he's sick and tired of his AEW run. Oo, parang nabuwisit sila doon. Then, ano pa ba? Si NXT, it was reported by Fightful that NXT Level Up might be canceled next year or possibly this year then. Di pa tayo makapag-confirm if it will be positive. Pero yeah, actually, it's fine for me na makancel ito kasi wala na naman talaga nanonood ito as a whole. So I'm good. Isa pa. So, ano pa ba pwede pag-usapan? So, let's talk about this. I'll start na with my tirades here. So, para wala ako masyadong masabi in the next few moments. Okay, just a second. Okay, so let's talk about ROH. Si ROH, actually sobrang impressed ako with Red Velvet lately, no? Si Red Velvet, not the K-pop group. I love Red Velvet as a group. I love Red Velvet, the wrestler. She's growing on me, to be honest. Pero let's focus on the Red Velvet, the wrestler. So, she got a... Ano ba tawag dito? She got a red belt para siyang TNT Tyro. So, meron na siyang bagong version of the Women's TV Tyro. Ang ganda ng belt niya. I love her presentation. She's growing on me, just like Willow Nightingale. Ang problema ko kasi kay Willow, parang binner siya eh. Some sorts ni Mercedes Moné. And I didn't like it. Pero I'll talk about AEW on our next episode. So, let's continue. So, ano pa ba? Hmm, ano pa ba? Nalimutan ko. So, may ilang bagay na gusto kong pag-usapan doon sa susunod kong episode. I'm really, really excited then on how this might go. No? Isa pa. So, si JR, he reported or he thinks that WWE might be the first company to host a wrestling event in the Las Vegas Sphere. Okay, so let's talk about the Sphere nga. Tandaan niyo ba yung sinabi ko nung last week about sa Noche UFC 306? I actually really liked how this event approached me. I really loved how this event getting approached, no? And parang yung feeling kasi ng show, it's more na cinema with the fights. So, I kinda liked it. It's growing on me, of course. Kasi para siyang cinematic na naramdaman natin nung pandemic pero Mexico themed. So, medyo na-appreciate ko din yung part na yun. And I really love it. Fans might did not appreciate that part. Pero sobrang na-appreciate ko yung details of the spear segments. Pero in WWE settings, medyo duda ako on how they're going to execute that. Mapa AEW, WWE, medyo may duda ako on how they are gonna execute a show in the spear. I'm not saying I'm kinda doubted. May duda lang talaga ako. Ayaw ko muna magsalita ng kapos. Pero more on ang sabihin ko lang may duda ako. Okay, so let's continue here. Ano ba? Okay, so AEW stated as to confirm si Miro asked for his release in AEW. I cannot believe that we are actually discussing that on the next episode. I'll discuss that more on our next episode. Para mas compromise siguro, I'll discuss that on our next episode. Okay, so TNA news, Joe Hendry versus Frankie Kazarian is set for the contendership, with the winner will face, of course, the number one contenders match to, and the winner will face the guy Nick Nemeth for the TNA title at Bound for Glory. Also, Lei Ying Lee or Saya Lee made her debut, and the match will take place next week. I'm actually impressed on Saya Lee's rise lately, and the presentation was actually great, which is good to me. And then Ariana Grace is now acting like a authority figure. Parang authority figure na yung atake niya lately. So parang okay, it works. Then it works. Then ito, so Nick Aldis, he said that time will tell if he steps into the ring with Adam Pearce. Oh, I would love to see that too. Okay, iba pang balita. So we have okay, ito, medyo interesting. AEW Dynamite, September 18, 2024. Viewership report. So, according to Rasonomics, AEW Dynamite is down from its episode last week. So, this week it's 687,000. Then, last week was 716 from last Wednesday. I'm not gonna discuss what happened here. I'll discuss that on the next episode. Pero sige, we are going to double check that later on. Steve Corino has resigned with WWE. Good. Good as always. Steve Corino, actually impressive to me. Next week pala, sabihin ko na dito, we are going to review the Vince McMahon documentary in a separate episode. So, abangan nyo yan. September 25 nga pala yan. So, this week siya. Yeah, share ko yung thoughts ko sa inyo on that Vince McMahon documentary once it drops sa Main Event Mark and also on the PWPH podcast. Okay, so, ano pa ba? Okay, so, continue natin. Ano pa ba mga balita? So, ano pa ba? Wala na. Okay. So, let's close that for now. Let's talk about wrestling. Let's start with SmackDown. So, SmackDown took place today on USA. That's the second episode on USA. Medyo firm na sila on this. So, let's talk about this match. So, tama ba to? Yeah, I think so. So, correct. Okay. So, let's start with LA Knight versus Andrade. This is actually impressive to me for a match on SmackDown. Alam naman natin that LA Knight is actually trying to impress us with his back-to-back defenses of the belt. So, para sa akin, ang gandang atake nito. And I cannot imagine Andrade if he actually won the belt. And actually, for the love of God, I hope we can see the WWE Speed Tyro kahit papaano, no? I would love to see that belt anytime soon. Pero, yon LA Knight and Andrade are something like mag-work talaga. So, I think their partnership really worked and they're impressive as workers talaga. So, no surprise that they retained the title. So, prior to that, let's talk about the shit. So, Jacob Fatu is beating up some security guards because kinapa na yung buong bloodline. And siya lang yung nag-resist na wag siyang kapkapin. O kinapkap pa din siya. So, they dropped. That was funny as fuck. Then, medyo natatawa ako doon sa part na nag-hesitate sila LA Knight tsaka si Andrade if they're going to shake hands or fist bump. Diba signature ni Andrade is fist bumps. So medyo nag-hesitate siya doon. Okay, so ito na nga. So WWE aired the video showing Roman and Cody meeting in the 50-yard lane of the Atlanta Stadium that will house the Bad Blood na malapit doon sa may State Farm Arena. Then, it was heavily produced with music, so wala tayong magkano maririnig. And, ang ganda ng presentation to me, no? That was a really good presentation on their part. It really shows that they are really ready for the Netflix deal to execute. Then, Vinci is back this week. And he's really impressive sa totoo lang. But it's kind of funny to me why we're giving our boy loses. Medyo confusing siya. The matches is short, very confusing din. Hindi rin ako impressed on how they're presenting this guy so far. I love Apollo Crews, definitely. But Apollo doesn't need to win. That's for sure. It doesn't need any wins right now. So, medyo bummer yun para sa akin. I didn't like it. Then, it's funny to me that Melo and Andrade obviously fought backstage because Melo mocked Andrade that he lost the title match over LA Knight. Then, I would love to see Melo nga versus LA Knight. Malay mo. Then, magbawian lang sila. Parehas lang sila natalo. So, yeah. Then we have this Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton versus Bailey and Naomi. Let's talk about this. So, the match is kinda okay. Medyo ang weird din to me that parang, but why your guys are making this obvious? They're setting up a three-way, obviously. Pero they don't want to make this fast. And Tiffany is definitely not turning anytime soon, so I'm good with that. She will turn, but she will not turn for now. But Tiffany so far on this role is really impressive to watch. Kasi nagsashine siya on her role, and I really think that Tiffany is really charismatic din. Sobrang charismatic niya. Kung may most improve ako, sa tingin ko I'll give it either kay Tiffany. Kung sa AEW, Willow. Definitely Willow. Kaya ko bigay kay Willow yan. Pero, KO looks like he's sick and tired of Bloodline. Mukhang busit na siya sa Bloodline. And he's still booked against the Bloodline. So, it's like a win to me. So, I know, I understand him naman. Pero ito, Byron Saxton. Let's give a shout out to Byron Saxton. Si Byron Saxton, um, it's actually interesting to me that everyone is actually giving props to Byron Saxton. I actually liked him more on SmackDown over Kayla Braxton or si Kartik Kelly. Actually, Byron suits SmackDown. I would love to see him three-way commentary with Cole and Graves. Para lang magkaroon ng charisma yung commentary team. Then, yun. So about this, si Tama Tonga, finally, he was let by WWE to talk. I love his skills in New Japan. Now, he was brought to WWE. No joke. This actually impressive to listen. Kahit yung bata na paparinig ko dito, mabibuisit. And then, the main event, obviously, the tag match, Street Profits and KO versus the Bloodline. Everyone looks sick and tired of this. Yeah, obviously, it was no contest. Decision was referee made. Everyone is out of control, so given na yun. Then, Owens is seen on the crime. He's teasing a chair shot on Cody, but I'm glad he did not to hit that on Cody. And they shook hands instead. Pero clear naman sa reactions na that he is pissed on Cody. Pero so far, itong SmackDown, I think ito yung abangan natin going forward with this format, especially with they are marketing the show going forward. And also, nag-return na din yung Saturday Night Main Event, which is we're going to talk about in a moment. Pero, yun nga, it's really interesting to me to see then na ang impressive kasi ng WWE when it comes to production. So, walang tatalo talaga sa production ng WWE. Chelsea Green, even if it's annoying, it works. It really works. Comedic, serious, it works. So that's why I love Chelsea Green. Let's go to Raw. Raw this week was okay. Yeah, in case you missed the news, so Raw will be downsized to a 2-hour broadcast until December 30 as they move to Netflix on the first episode in 2025. Then, yun nga, October 7 mag-uumpisa yung deal. So that's few weeks from now. We might see all of the shows in WWE in 2 hours lang. So, nire-report naman ng iba pang sources na hindi ko pa ma-confirm if it's true that SmackDown might adopt a 3-hour show from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. I mean, they are leaning to that, pero I don't want to see them in a 3-hour setting. I don't want to see SmackDown in 3-hour setting. Just to set Raw with less commercials. Pangit. Ang pangit ng dating sa akin. To me. Okay, so let's talk about Raw. So, konting bagay lang naman yung worth it sa Raw. So, CM Punk opened the show. Hindi gano'ng kagandahan yung boses ni Punk because of the attack of Drew. Then, despite of his efforts, he's going to be a war or be part of a war with Drew McIntyre. And he cannot afford the Hell in a Cell at this point in his career. If that means the end of his career, then so be it. Then he promised that he is going to destroy Drew McIntyre for good. That was a strong promo, I agree. Iba rin yung tono ng promo na to, kung napapansin nyo, no? Yes, iba yung boses ni Punk, but it's not a typical Punk promo that you noticed, no? Parang out of character. Sa totoo lang, out of character, it's more heavily written. And hindi na to yung happy Punk na nandun. Punk was pissed. Punk is disappointed on this. So, and they're building this shit in under 3 weeks. So, that should be. And sobrang ganito yung gusto ko sa mga segments or ganitong mga segments yung gusto ko kay Punk eh. Na alam mo magiging interesting sa crowd, alam mo crowd will be interested on this type of segments. Then promos like this, while you should book Punk in spots like this. So, dami natin pwedeng i-example, yung MJF Punk, then yung kay Eddie Kingston, then Moxley eventually. Even I don't like John Moxley's mic skills. But yeah, let's talk about the other segments happened on the show. Sheamus versus Pete Dunne. Okay, so it's pretty interesting. It's growing on me, but medyo akin lang. I'm starting na mabuwisit dito. Medyo nag-uumpisa na ako mabuwisit. But yeah, I liked it. Pero there's a part of me that I am kind of frustrated. Then, let's continue. Ito. So, Saber Woods asked Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Jey Uso to let him and Woods or let him and Kofi handle the business with the Judgment Day, and they agreed actually, which is good. Then, eto. So, backstage confrontation. Ito, ni-reveal ni Finn Balor that he is the one who is the devil on Dom, who pushed him towards Liv Morgan. Then Jey Uso interrupt. Then, dumadamobis pa rin siya kay Mami. And, yeah, he is charismatic as hell, no? Siya yung mas charismatic sa Brothers. By the way, prayers to Jimmy Uso. I hope he's fine. And, yeah, the promo between Jey Uso and Braun Breaker, in my opinion, this actually impressive. Both of them are charismatic. It favors Jey more though. Pero both of them are charismatic as well. Then, ang ganda ng segment. Very, very good. Sa totoo lang. Si Jey Uso, hindi ko nakikita ang ganito. Until recently. Like, the feud with the Damian Priest. Ito, yung feud niya with Roman. It's impressive. It's amazing too. Then, medyo obvious na rin naman that we are getting this. We're good. Pero, it's no surprise either, but if Braun is winning, I'm not surprised. Okay, we have a tag title match, New Day versus Judgment Day. Obviously, New Day won. Kaya sobrang baba ng tone ko. Then um we have this Saber Woods delivering his frustrations on Kofi Kingston. It's because of Karrion Kross's manipulation. Then si Odyssey Jones, parang hinihint siya na baka mag-join siya sa group. And he left the ring. Then it continued backstage after of the break, culminating with him yelling at Kofi Kingston and he is storming off. Yeah, I'm really sad right now to see the New Day getting split up or getting destroyed. I would be sad about it. Then Woods exploded into the ring. He's amazing as fuck. Then we got the Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed that I think it was impressive. And I cannot wait to see more of this. And I'm glad that it was ended into a draw, no contest, so it makes sense that no one won. No one won. So it's a win-win. Then, um, si Joe Hasi, Tom Hasitor, Joe Tessitor is actually growing to me on the commentary. No, he is impressive. Hindi siya nagmamadali, which is good. And sa totoo lang, I think this was his third week on the commentary. I can say compared on 2 weeks, I think this might be his best work so far. Pero I'm not gonna rate it just yet. Pero, um, pero sobrang impressive niya sa totoo lang. Si Sami Zayn is continuously challenging Gunter, but Gunter keeps avoiding Sami Zayn. Pero hindi siya take place sa Bad Blood. Pero it might be then sa Survivor Series. Then, yeah, I cannot wait to see more of Sami versus Gunter. Then also we have this Priest and Gunter confrontation. Um, he said that Liv has balls, something the rest of the Judgment Day does not. Then he said that he's going to beat Finn Balor at Bad Blood and Dominic later tonight. Okay. Eto, let's say this, it is what it is. The Bianca Belair versus Io Sky match was actually impressive. Sobrang impressive niya sa totoo lang. The match was really good. Sa tingin ko, I think this might be the match of the night, no? Then, ang charisma kasi at saka chemistry nila Bianca and Io are top-notch. Totoo lang. Especially with Io also competing on the speed tournament. This will be interesting and I would love to see more women actually competing, especially with this progress speed tournament that we currently have. Then, ayun, we are waiting for Damage Control versus Bianca and Jade. And it's inevitable naman. Obviously, mangyayari naman siya. Then, si Bianca naman, sobrang strong din ng booking niya. Even though that she lost this match, she lost on Nia, on the Queen of the Ring. So, it's really impressive. Totoo lang. And, actually, dito talaga lumabas yung ingay ni Joe Tessitore, which is great to me. Yeah. Damien versus Dom. I'm not gonna talk about this. The story here is kinda repetitive. So, yeah. Let's cap this episode with the NXT review. So, review natin sa NXT. Okay, so they are setting up their CW shows October 7 or October 1 and October 8. They are both setting up this episodes, and actually it's really interesting to see then how things will fold going forward on that episode later on, of course. And let's talk about the shows nga muna. So, Trick Williams and Ethan Page, obviously, they had these confrontations. Medyo impressive siya for some. Pero ang parang ang dating sa akin, ang nabitin ako. Nabitin ako doon sa first part of the confrontation. Then we can continue on other shows. Ang gusto ko lang sabihin, si Ethan Page, sobrang impressive niya ng mic niya. Ba't di siya nagagamit ng ganito when he is still with AEW? Masyado siyang bad decision sa akin. But I'm really glad that it's growing on me. Then, we we have Ava obviously running down the cards for the shows in Chicago and St. Louis. We're going to talk about that later on. Then, we have this Tatum Paxley and Lyra Valkyria versus Wendy Chu and Rosemary. Okay, this is actually impressive. It also grows on me. And someone like Tatum Paxley actually deserves a backup like Lyra, and actually really works for me. And it's a win-win situation. Then, obviously naman, si Rosemary did the heavy lifting. Basically, both of them has the amazing booking din. Pero, ang weird to me that Wendy Chu and Rosemary kind of lost their steam. Then now they're still with this. Then si Lyra naman at si Tatum, ang ganda ng booking nila, no? Yes, technically si Lyra is now on Raw, pero I see her more impressive on NXT. Mas nag-shine kasi, pansin ko. Then like what I said, si Wendy Chu, parang nawala yung steam niya as of late. Parang yung change kasi hindi na gaano exciting. Like when she lost the title match on NXT No Mercy, wala na yung niya, wala na yung steam niya. By the way, I did not review No Mercy, wala namang kasi special. I really love the Kelani Jordan segments though. Tsaka yung main event, din special for me. No surprise. Okay. So, continue natin na medyo ano ako kay Rosemary. Rosemary though, parang she is playing the veteran enabler sa NXT. It's kind of weird that a TNA wrestler actually is acting like the enabler here. Tony D versus Hammerstone was a little bit weird to me because why? While I am get that no contest, no, the story here is really clear, no? Because Don lost his confidence. Dalawang malaking tao na yung naiwasan niya. Then si Hammerstone kasi is impressive and also the same as Obafemi. Then medyo klaro na din that Obafemi versus D'Angelo yung makikita natin. Yes, Hammerstone got the win, pero parang I would love to see Hammerstone in a different position on the next episodes if they are going to join again this segment. Zach Wentz appeared after of the attack ni Wesley kay Trey Miguel on the parking lot. I hope this will be showed as well on TNA. Then, ano ba? Yun lang yan. Then, si Adriana Rizzo, sobrang impressive ito sa totoo lang. No? Parang, Don or Tony D is starting to feel that he is pressured. And I love it. And I actually loved it. No? At the same time, ang impressive kasi nung feeling na Tony D is getting owned by the best guy in NXT right now, which is good. Then, isa pa, wow! Ang weird nung promos ng Chase U so far. Parang hindi ko ramdam. Yes. Pero ito, medyo interesting. So, CM Punk confronted by Roxanne Perez. Roxanne said that medyo na-realize niya that she should be a Drew McIntyre fans. And she was angry at Punk for supporting Julia. Then Julia appeared and she confronted Roxanne. And then she reminded her that 2 weeks na lang yung reign niya for NXT. Cannot wait to see more of Julia though. Si Julia is very strong, no? Alam naman natin, kahit hindi siya nagsalita masyado ng English or nag-English siya pero basic. Pero I'm glad that they are selling the fear of Roxanne, no? Ang pangit naman siguro kung no talk si Julia dito. Parang wala kasi siyang walang issue. And I'm glad though that Punk did not do anything until that appearance ni Roxanne. But yeah, I'm glad that they let Punk appear in 2 segments though. So we will talk about the other one later. So, ang weird din sa akin that the episode on October 8 is set to compete with AEW because no choice sila. Like what I said, no choice sila. No choice sila. Then, parang ang weird to me that Punk is appearing on the show one or few days from his fight with Drew. Bakit may ganitong side quest? I mean, it's not wrong, but I don't get it. Aside from the tickets, obviously. I mean, if Punk will be the special guest referee, jump tayo, then he should be jumped by Drew on NXT. That will be great. Just para mag-bump sila ng ratings on their CW debut. Then, to continue then, so Javon Evans was announced as Orton's opponent on the show sa October 8. It's actually impressive to me. Ano ba? Yun na nga, in-announce na nga nila yun. Then, ano ba yung pwede na pag-usapan? Other shows I don't want to talk about. Then, Lola Vice. Medyo nag-iba yung mix niya lately. Pero, Lola Vice and Jada Parker is really good as a team. Swear to God. Parang iba yung pakiramdam ko with those two. And iba yung feeling. But ang klaro din to me that we're getting a clear direction with these segments. And it grows on me. Klaro naman. Obvious naman. Pero ito, last thing So, Tyrese Halliburton, I'm not sure who is from Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton. Tama ba? He appeared to introduce Trick Williams and Ethan Page to sign their contract. Then Punk appeared again and he was announced that he will be the special guest referee for the match between Ego and Trick Williams. Yung pacing nito, grabe. And this might be the biggest match NXT could have on the premiere. For sure. And they might eat the match between Roxanne and Julia alive. Pero in my take lang, Julia versus Roxanne should open the show and other that, it should be the main event. Pero ang weird to me that Eva, let's address this nga. I get that we are observing all of the authority figures in WWE. Pero why is Sally Burton here? Parang ang pangit ng structure ng authority figures ng lahat ng brands. I don't get it. On Raw, yung Raw, konsentidor ng katangahan. Yung NXT, loose. Walang atensyon. So, yun yung problema ko. Eva has 2 assistants. Pero tangina, ba't nandyan si Halliburton? I don't get it. It's just annoying to me. Parang may mali talaga sa pacing ng GM role ni Eva and it might be should reconsidered. Kasi, I mean, she is doing a really good job as a talker. Pero, it's still question to me that why on earth we have to get the Halliburton here. But regardless, we should address the authority figure structure here, no? Kasi Eva is growing on me, yes, but her failures really shines. Parang may something na mali on Eva, on her side. It's wrong. It's wrong. Masyado siyang sablay sa akin. Then we have Punk, obviously. He addressed this as the authority figure that he can be. Pero it works. It works on me. It works on everyone. So it's a win-win. Pero yun lang. Si Halliburton. What's weird more on Halliburton here? Halliburton that ano ba tawag dito? Hindi din siya threat to hindi siya threat kay Trick, hindi rin siya threat kay Ego Page. So I don't get his appearance here. I mean, Ava, understandable na siya dapat yung pumagitna because she is the GM of NXT. Pero justified pa rin yung point ko. We need some changes in our authority figure system here. Ba't si Nick Aldis lang yung matino? I mean, Adam Pearce, konsentidor ng katangahan. Tapos si Punk, parang siya pa yung lumabas na matinong authority figure here eh. I don't get it. Tapos si Nick Aldis, as much as I love him as an authority figure, but the problem here, he's letting his roster loose. Parang everyone got fucked up on his own right and everyone is getting fucked up on his own will. And kasalanan din ni Nick Aldis yun. Okay, so sige. This show episode, parang hindi nila na-accomplish yung point of being an episode, sure. But it placed as a hype show basically for the CW premiere. Pero, yun lang. Basically, being built for the CW premiere. Obviously, wala namang kailangan ibang i-build. So, medyo given na yon. Pero other than that, it felt okay to me. Medyo okay lang siya. Nag-steam siya, oo. Pero, I don't feel that I will be surprised or I will be excited. It's just sakto lang. It feels that way. And hindi rin naman ako ganong impressed on how they're going to build the show on the other shows after nitong CW premiere. But it should be questioned. At we are going to question that later on. But yeah, that we should be it for now here on the show. You can follow and support the show on the main event mark at main event mark PW. You can also support our Patreon, patreon.com/slash main event mark PW. You can support our PWPH, facebook.com/groups/slash pro wrestling PH club, X, and on Patreon at PWPH select, Instagram at P Wrestling PH Club. At I hope you can support our PWPH podcast. It will come really soon for our season 2. We are going to share as well heart to heart review over on that show. And yeah, that should be fun. The next couple of weeks, we are going to talk about unfinished business as well. Once the VOD will be up. Wala man nanonood sa amin nung... Hindi, si Diego. I would love to see Diego on this show though. Soon. I would love to see him on our podcast then. Para lang mas ma-clear yung mga sasabihin natin when it comes to unfinished business. And that should be fun. That should be great. Then, yun. That should be it for now here on the show. You should see me on the next episode as we go to talk about AEW and the predictions for AEW Grand Slam. For now, stay safe and stay wrestle. See you on the next one. Bye for now.